Hey y'all, welcome to the social media takeover for the Unexpected Diva. Today, October 22nd, we are celebrating the 173rd anniversary of Elizabeth Taylor Greenfield's very first public concert. It happened at Townsend Hall in Buffalo, New York in 1851, where she had almost 1,000 people come to her concert, and that was almost unheard of, y'all. The tickets were 50 cents, and there were black people and white people in the audience, and that was quite, you might say, unexpected. Anyway, I'm going to read you guys a few pages from the book, the scene where her concert takes place, and I hope you like it. Okay, let me get into it. Although I am unable to make out any faces in the crowd, I can tell that most, if not all, the seats are filled. A packed house for me. Terror settles into the pit of my stomach, and a taste like copper pennies fills my mouth. I swallow several times, willing the nauseous sensation away, but perspiration gathers under my arms and my breast. Although outside it is quite a chilly evening, in Townsend Hall, the air is warm and dense with expectation. After the applause dies down, the hall descends into silence. It seems an impossible feat for nearly 1,000 people to become silent all at once, but it happens. The only thing I can hear is the thumping sound of my own heart and my even breathing, slowly dragging air into my lungs, allowing them to expand, and then emptying them once again, stretching them to capacity and readying them. Then, finally, after staring into the crowd and allowing their anticipation to excite me, I look over at Charles and give him the cue that I'm ready. Charles plays the opening to my first song, and the orchestra joins in after his introduction. He gazes at me with what I hope is pride and admiration. As my voice rings out loud and strong, it is as if the crowd is in a trance. The silence continues until I hit the last note of the first aria. It is a nature-defying run from baritone to soprano, all in one breath, with the last note held for an impossible amount of time. A part of me expected the applause that erupts, but there is another part of me that doubted everything. The second side is the one that gets butterflies. The fierce side of me revels in the applause, craves it even, so much so that I launch right into the second song and let Charles catch up to me in the accompaniment. I'm lucky he is used to following my vocal notes wherever they may lead. Non-stop, song after song, there is a cycle of singing, applause, encore, and then even more singing. This goes until the intermission, when I escape to my dressing room for a much needed break and cup of tea. Charles bursts into my dressing room and closes the door behind him. Before I get a moment to complain about his intrusion, I notice that he seems out of sorts. I hope that nothing has gone wrong between him and Hiram. I don't want anything to ruin this night. Charles, is everything all right? Eliza, there's something that I must share with you, and now is most likely not the appropriate time, but I feel I will explode if I do not. He stands with his back pressed against the wall, with sweat on his brow and a look of sheer agony on his face. I have never seen him like this, and we have a concert to finish. Tell me, whether it's appropriate or not, I don't want you feeling upset. Charles sighs with relief and drops to one knee in front of me. Do you know how much I enjoy our friendship? Yes, of course. Well, I have not expressed what it does to me to hear you sing. I look down at my hand that Charles has gripped between his and at the intensity of his gaze. This is making me nervous. Yet, intrigued, I want to hear more. What does it do? His hand strokes my face with a touch that is so intimate, I suddenly recoil. I am shocked and overwhelmed by his affection, yet simultaneously hungry for it. I'm sorry, Eliza. I know it's improper, but when you sing, there is an attraction I feel that is both spiritual and carnal in nature. This has been one of my greatest fears in pursuing this friendship with Charles. Men are never required to remain virtuous, and they do not. He, I'm sure, has seen and done all manner of things. There are whores and widows both who are willing to teach young men anything and everything they need to know about things of a carnal nature. But I have no knowledge of these things. Miss Elizabeth always said that there would be a discussion before I was wed, but that I was always to remain above reproach. In fact, being alone with Charles in these close confines is beyond improper. It is scandalous. This is enough to cause people to question my virtue. I know that you are innocent, Eliza, Charles says, as the hand that touched my face now trails my arm back down to my hand. And that is what makes this impossible. Charles's hand has lit a fire on the skin he's touched. Miss Elizabeth impressed upon me the need to remain virtuous, but she did not prepare me for these feelings, things I never felt in the company of Lucien. May I kiss your hand? He is lifting my hand toward his lips, but he hovers there, waiting for me to consent. I nod, but when he turns my hand over and opens it, then places the softest kiss in the center of my palm, I am confused and disarmed. It is not what I expected. I thought he was going to give me a gentleman's kiss. This was not that. My entire body tingles from this. If we weren't only friends, I'd place a kiss like that on your lips, Charles says lustily, and I do not wish us to be only friends any longer. Because of my singing? Not only the singing, but there are things women do that can bring a man to his knees. Every woman has her charms, and every man has a different charm that's the key to his carnality. For you and me, it is my voice. He nods while lifting my hand to kiss it again, but I gently pull it away. I'm sorry, he says. Have I offended you? Are you worried someone will see? There was no one backstage. No. I think I'd like to feel the kiss on my lips. I've never. His lips crash into mine with a sense of urgency, the flavors of mint and honey from my tea commingling with Charles's natural taste. I savor every sensation, including the heat that rises between my thighs as Charles kisses me deeply. As we separate, I feel as if I might explode from longing, and Charles does not look anywhere close to being satiated. This must be the feeling that causes people to abandon all reason, because for a moment, I forgot about the stage, bringing my mother home, and my inheritance. I wasn't thinking about anything other than what Charles's skin might feel like touching mine. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. Y'all gonna have to buy the book, okay, to find out what happens with Charles, Eliza, and everything else in the Unexpected Diva. It drops January 7th, but you don't have to wait. You can pre-order now from your favorite bookseller. Thank you so much for your support, and please like and share this video. Elizabeth Taylor Greenfield deserves a crowd and her applause. Thank you.